Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Jamo here, bringing you the next episode of my BPL review series. It's the review of the match that took place in match week 5, and the feature is Manchester United versus Liverpool, a game that ended 3-1 to Manchester United at Old Trafford. The late kickoff on Saturday. Goals were from Daley Blind and Herrera, and the new man Anthony Martial, the 19-year-old, in which Manchester United decided to pay 36 million for. The only other goal was Liverpool, an overhead kick from Christian Benteke. It was a game of two halves, both sides didn't play particularly well in the first half. Well, when I saw it on Match of the Day, there was only two highlights, and that was two saves from Mignolet, and that shows how boring it was. And then obviously all four goals came in the second half. Daley Blind's goal, very well worked from the free kick or the corner. I can't remember. I think it was a free kick. But he left the goalkeeper standing. Herrera took the penalty, a definite penalty for me. He was taken out when he received the ball. Benteke's overhead kick was absolutely phenomenal, as it was. Fantastic power behind it. David De Gea was not going to get to it, and of course he didn't, making it 2-1 to Manchester United. And then United's new man Anthony Martial, the 19-year-old, just stepped up to the plate, came on off the bench, and pretty much with his first few touches, the ball goes pretty much through the whole Liverpool defence, and just slots it into the bottom right-hand corner past Mignolet. And it was a thoroughly deserved win for Manchester United. And it was just a good second half performance, especially. And LBG will be very, very pleased with the way Martial played, as obviously he's now got really out injured at the moment. But in terms of Liverpool, obviously lost 3-0 to West Ham before the international break. So it's going from bad to worse for them. As for the other fixtures, the early kickoff was Everton versus Chelsea at Goodison Park. And from my point of view, it was a disappointing result once again. We lost 3-1 to Everton, obviously. A perfect hat-trick from Naismith. One was left, then right, and then the header, or whichever way around it was, but still, it was the perfect hat-trick. And hats off to Naismith, hats off to Everton. Naismith especially played phenomenally well. He obviously came on for the injured Bezic in the opening half, and he was the impact sub. He always has been. He is Chelsea's bogey player. We hate playing against him. Yes, we can beat Everton at times, but obviously playing Everton at Goodison Park, regardless of which team you are, is a difficult thing to do. Manchester United experienced it last season, and again, we lose, and something needs to be done. It was another game where Ivanovic didn't play as well as he should have done. He didn't play as well as he did last season. He was solid last season, and now he's just dropped totally out of it. And something needs to be done. I'm not entirely sure what it needs to be, because next weekend we are at home to Arsenal. Another big match, another must-win game, and to be quite frank, we have been poor, and I think, we can win it if we up our game, because obviously we lost 2-1 at home to Palace at home before the international break. But all I'm hoping is that Chelsea's game at home to Maccabi Tel Aviv in the Champions League this week will be a turning point, and if we win that, then that gives us a newfound belief going into the Arsenal game. Yeah, I'm hopeful. I really want us to beat Maccabi Tel Aviv just to give us that added level of confidence going forward. Another game, in terms of the other games that were played on Saturday, Arsenal played Stoke at home and beat them 2-0. Nothing much to say. Arsenal was solid once again at home, and got the 2-0 win that they deserved. Giroud scored a header after missing a number of chances for France on the international break. Walcott obviously scored as well, and well taken goal for him as well. Palace were at home to Manchester City, lost it 1-0, and only just. Palace played phenomenally well for the 90 minutes until Manchester City's young youth player, I think it is, Ian Nacho, steps up in the 90th minute and scores. And nobody could believe it. Nobody could believe it had happened. We all thought it was going to go to a 0-0 draw as the final result. And then Ian Nacho just steps up and maintains Manchester City's 100% win rate this season. And it gets them their 5th win from 5. And to be honest, I was gutted for Palace because I really wanted them to do what they did against Chelsea. And they were so close to doing so. And obviously that was a top 2 battle as well. So as a result, Palace dropped down to 4th or out of the Champions League places, I think, but I'm not entirely sure. Norwich played Bournemouth at home and beat them 3-1. Bournemouth, I think, I still believe Bournemouth have the quality to go and do what Leicester did last season. But Norwich have been absolutely fantastic under Alex Neil. And I think they will stay up in a comfortable position this season. 3 very good goals for them. Watford played Swansea at home and beat them 1-0 unexpectedly, in my opinion. I was expecting Swansea to be very good, go to Watford and be very strong and come away with at least a 2 or 3-0 win, or 3-1 win. Watford could have possibly nicked a goal or 2, but Swansea lost it, and I didn't even expect them to do it. You know, I put a couple of Andre Ayew into my fantasy team, expecting him to do well, and it didn't happen, unfortunately. But Watford, hats off to them again. They picked up another 3 points, their first 3 points. I'm not entirely sure, but they pick up a win regardless, and they did very well to beat Swansea. Southampton, West Brom 0-0. Nothing more to say from that to that, apart from it was a rather boring game to us, hence why it was 0-0. Few key chances, and then on to Sunday's games. The 1:30 kickoff was Sunderland versus Tottenham Hotspur. 2 sides that before this game hadn't won a game all season and were sitting down below the relegation zone along with Chelsea. And something needed to happen. And fortunately for Tottenham, it did. Ryan Mason scoring the goal. A well-taken goal for him. A good bit of play by Spurs as well. And they pick up their 3 points. The late game, the 4 o'clock kickoff on Sunday, was Leicester at home to Aston Villa. A thrilling game. Aston Villa started. It was, again, just like Manchester United and Liverpool, a game of 2 halves. 0-0 at half time. The first half was very boring indeed. I think, or was it? I have no idea. I can't remember. I think it was actually. I think it was a game of 2 halves. But anyway, Aston Villa went 2-0 up, and then they were 2-0 up after 72 minutes, and then from literally 72 minutes to 90, Leicester managed to score 3 goals to win the game. One of which was a header from the corner, which went over the line. They had to use the goal line technology to confirm it. Then who scored it? I can't even remember. But then, I don't know. It's not what I'm thinking of. But then, that was it. Jamie Vardy equalised from a cross. Very well taken again. And then, oh God, what is his name? I don't know who it was, but all Brighton assisted it, and it was another one. The 3 goals were very, very well taken. Very poor defending from Aston Villa. Aston Villa's goals were very good indeed from Carlos Gill and oh God, what's his name? Jack Grealish. 2 very, very well taken goals. And for me, Villa should have won that. You know, if they got their team lead, all they had to do was hold it tight, sit back and defend it, and then probably go on the counter, and they just couldn't handle it. Leicester, hats off to them, obviously, for getting the massive comeback that they did. But a fantastic 3-2 win for Leicester. Keeps them up in the top half of the table, doing well this season. I do think Leicester will stay up again. On to the final game then, the Monday night game between West Ham and Newcastle at Upton Park. I don't, obviously, as you guys know, I don't see the Monday night fixtures, but it did end 2-0 to West Ham. A double from Payet. And by the sounds of it, Payet's first goal was pretty good indeed. Newcastle obviously starting the season in a poor way. And West Ham starting brightly in some places. But West Ham probably got the 2-0 win that they deserved. As for the fixtures played in the next round of fixtures, Chelsea are home to Arsenal as the early kick-off on Saturday. Then at 3 o'clock, Aston Villa are home to West Brom, Bournemouth are home to Sunderland, Newcastle at home to Watford, Stoke versus Leicester, Swansea versus Everton, and then the 5:30 kick-off is Manchester City versus West Ham. Then on Sunday, it's 3 games. Tottenham are home to Palace, a London derby there. Liverpool versus Norwich at 4. Also Southampton versus Manchester United at 4 o'clock. So thank you very much for watching this video. I'd expect obviously Chelsea and Arsenal, we know it's a tight game. I think it'll be a draw or a close win either way. Another one for Aston Villa. I think they'll possibly that'll be another close game. Bournemouth, I think, will just edge a win over Sunderland. Watford and Newcastle will yet again another tight game. I think Watford may just edge it. Leicester, I think it's again this weekend coming up. It's a round of tough fixtures across the park. It could go either way in all 10 fixtures. It's ridiculous. But thank you very much for watching this episode, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next episode next week. See you later.